Hey guys, what's up? This is going to be a little review video today on the new FST carburetor. I thought this might help some people if they're looking to buy one, because there really isn't that much information out there. At least there wasn't when I went to purchase one. So I figured do a little review and things to watch out for on the carburetor if you do get one. All right, let's take a look at this thing. All right, well, overall, carburetor, I really do like it. Visually, it's a good looking carburetor. Performs well. I did have a Holley 750 double pumper on here first, for years actually, and there was little things I didn't really quite like about it. It's probably because I didn't really honestly know how to tune it quite right. Now this carburetor here, I would not recommend, at least the one I got, running right out of the box. I kind of took it apart, took the bowls off, took the metering blocks off, discharge nozzles off. It actually had whatever this black coating is. There was little shavings of it down in the discharge nozzle, like the passages. When they ran the screws down in, I guess it kind of, there was some on the threads. So definitely you want to take these carburetors apart and give them a good look over and, you know, clean them out a little bit just to make sure. It did smell like gas, so they did run it before you know, they shipped it out, because they say they do run them on a test engine to get some things dialed in. They claim that the float levels and the idle mixture and the idle speed set, that's going to change per engine. My idle mixture was nowhere close. The float levels were right on, and then the idle speed had to be adjusted as well. Other things that you're going to want to look out for is your fuel inlet line. I had to kind of custom make this one. That's a Summit line for a 4150 carburetor, but the center to center distance on these carbs is 9.75, like a Holley, the XP. So they have a different inlet. They have AN fittings, 8 AN, so their line will not fit on this. So you either have to, I had to cut this a longer piece here for this to fit. And I did have one of those adjustable chrome ones, but I just like this style better. So other things that you want to look out for, this little rod actually needed bent slightly because I wasn't getting wide open throttle when you went down all the way. The secondaries weren't completely coming open. The discharge nozzles, I didn't really like the ones that were on it, so I put Holley ones on and I put Moroso hollow screws, because the factory ones kind of seeped a little bit at the top. Every time you would hit the throttle, fuel would just kind of seep down around the gasket. It's not a good seal. I'll show you that later when we look at the discharge nozzles. But generally though, everything is great with this carburetor. It responds really well. The car actually went quicker in the quarter mile with this carb on than a Holley that I thought was pretty dialed in for this setup. The other thing, if you have a Chrysler product and you're running the factory linkage, I used the Edelbrock carburetors Chrysler adapter because the Holley one would not fit on this, and I still had to elongate the one bolt hole out a little bit to get it to fit. So most guys aren't even going to be running the factory linkage and stuff on their car anyway, because it's kind of a racing carburetor. This is a 750 mechanical secondary. It's the RTS model. All right, I think that's everything on to actually look at the carb here. These are the discharge nozzles that I was talking about. They did not make a good seal, and I'm thinking it's probably because the hole in the bottom is so much bigger. The screw, it could kind of rock around. If you look at a Holley one, it's pretty much a pretty tight fit. And this angle up here where it's beveled, it's almost like they were two different angles. So I think that they just did not want to seal. I just put Holley ones on and the Moroso screws. And this was what actually was on the bowls from the factory. And I just took them out and I put, you know, that other fuel line on there. You can get regular, what is it, 7/8 by 20 inlets that would come on a Holley. You could use them too, or you could use them. The only thing is that they stated that the it was the power valve was supposed to be a 4.5 and it actually was a 6.5, which it didn't matter because I put a 2.5 in because that thing only runs about 5 to 6 inches of vacuum at idle. All right, now for the performance gain that I saw with the new Carb. With the Holley on, my previous best ET was an 1181 at 112.3. Pretty good 60 foot, 1575. All I did was swap carburetors, went back down to the track. It was a very similar condition day. Wasn't same day, but car went an 1170, 113.5. Pretty good gain, 1/10 of a second and over a mile per hour. 60 foot dropped, 1565. 8th mile also picked up ET and mile per hour. Everything was better. So Carb definitely made a good difference, and frankly I think 1/10 is pretty good from just swapping carburetors. I mean, and they're the same size CFM, so the price of the FST carburetor is also cheaper than its competitors. Proform, the Brawler, the Holley, they're all more expensive. Now when I bought the Carb, it was on sale at Summit for $415. It was regularly $475. So I got a really good deal on it, and that's one reason why I bought it. So I was looking at the Proforms. Now the prices have gone up since then, but it's still the cheapest. So definitely recommend this carburetor. Definitely will help your car, I think, probably run a little bit better. I know it did mine. I'm happy with the street manners it has as well. It's really crisp, like off the line, even like light throttle. It idles well. Cruise, it works really good. So if you're looking at carburetors and you're not thinking about the FST, definitely, look into that. I'd recommend it. It's just, take it apart, clean it out before you put it on. Just check things over on it just to make sure it's good to go. And I think you'd probably be pretty happy with it. I guess we'll pop this thing off, get it started, get a little bit of heat in it, and show you how it responds to throttle and how crisp it is. What the idle mixture is. Once it warms up, it comes up to around 14. At least that's what I have adjusted to. And the idle speed, right around 700. She's a little bit temperamental when it's cold. No choke, so